Concentration, laser focus. Banging on they though they taking notice.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in a sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the division.
All right, Coach, thank you as always. EA Sports coverage of the NFL playoffs brings us to chilly, but of course sold-out Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Buffalo Bills, and they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Did you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. You might want to try and check into a pass next time.
Yeah, got him for a loss. Really, really great play defensively. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They begin the drive with Coleman. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And now the Chiefs' offensive starters.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week. But you know you can't, so you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
58, right over there, right over there. Let go. 58, right there. All right.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
43, 15. Spot. Color.
Coleman now. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. An outstanding pickup there for the Chiefs. 42 yards. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line. I wanted to...
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and you've got the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To throw, it's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. A big play here for Buffalo. 43 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They will run with Singletary. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against him.
And he's able to find Diggs. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the 1st.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 2nd down, Singletary. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They run here with Singletary. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's Allen, and it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. They'll run it with Williams. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as they are now on the board here in the 1st half.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Zoom, fellas, let's go. 58 is a Mike. Go 58 to Mike.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. Completes it to Hardman. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. Trying to find his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
We got this.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Well, we'll see if they can do it here. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. On 2nd down now. Singletary. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the first. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Allen now looks to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Allen going to come to the line here, 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Allen. Finding Knox there, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. Allen to throw once more. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point try for Gostkowski.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And that will do it for this first. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Yellow. Here we go.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Let's go. Let's go. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Here we go, D.
So after the INT, it's Allen. And Diggs has it. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 46 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, well, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go. And that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
Yeah, it seems like they've been running uphill all game. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Trent Murphy in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
To try again after the sack, Mahomes. And that's caught inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Don't get nervous. And Ripley, watch the twist. Attack! 49.
Mahomes now to throw. Being chased out left. He'll run it. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And the penetration too strong. He won't make it back to the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Able to convert on fourth to bring up first and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs are able to cut into this lead.
Apparently the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
And he will find the end zone again, so he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, and that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Allen to throw it. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 33 yards that time. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they have the right coverage, they've still dented them.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Juan Thornhill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
We got double up, double up. Hey, 15.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Throwing now is Mahomes. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Mahomes now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Finding Hardman here over the middle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. It's Coleman here. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tevin Coleman saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Gets fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Singletary again. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They go right back to Singletary. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Williams. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. So possession goes over here on the punt. Here comes Mahomes and the Chiefs. Down by 7. 1:46 to go. They need a touchdown here to try to force overtime, but they've got the support of this playoff record crowd. 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Switch. Yellow.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Mahomes to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. To throw is Mahomes. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Kelsey, the intended receiver there, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Back to throw. Now he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit. And another 1st down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game. And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. I know there's some time on the clock, but I still think you kick the extra point there and don't go for 2 and go for the win in that spot. Yeah, time or no time, why not just take the 1 and even the score? And then that way, no matter what, at least you know what you're dealing with now. It's a whole different strategy. You got to decide whether you're going to onside kick or just try and play defense and get the ball back. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee. Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done.
feel like